Oh, hello. Let's recap from the previous lesson. She's such a teacher. The last time I mentioned something, it was about what's the purpose of education. And what I mentioned was the purpose of education, historically speaking, is it was from the top down. So it's people, institutions at the top who create legislation, whatever. The second point I made, that even the architecture is made for conformity, a cells and bells model. So I just think that's important for some reason. And then the third is, if we have this system that is from the top down, it's going to, I feel like in education, we're at the whim of whatever policies are at the top. And then we just follow suit, which I think is problematic because it doesn't allow for individual curiosity and creativity. Which brings me to today's topic, which is I was very sad to hear the death of Sir Ken Robinson. He did a TED Talk in 2006 that has become one of my favorites. Honestly, especially if I know that I'm as a high school teacher, if I knew that I was going to be evaluated by administration, hopefully superintendents, I made sure that this was my lesson because I just think it's such an important lesson to teach, which is do schools kill creativity? And I love this TED Talk. I'm gonna put a link on for you. But one of the key points that I thought was really interesting about this is he talks about how you don't teach creativity. In fact, we teach kids out of creativity. And we are mining the minds of our kids like we would mine for a certain commodity. Yeah, I think kids are looked at as a money-making machine, and we prize rigorous achievement and conformity over liberating imagination and initiative. So I agree with Sir Ken Robinson on these points. The fact that our emphasis in education has been so geared towards data, and we just kind of go along with this. We're kind of pushed to have data. Well, I see a lot of data today about sickness and from scientists who are saying, look, we need to look at the data, which is maybe why we shouldn't be going back to schools, but we're ignoring the data. And then I just feel like the past at least 8-9 years, education has been all about, you got to get the data. And now we have data and we ignore it as a whole society, what I'm talking about. And so we just kind of go along with this top-down business approach, and we have for a long time. It's very antiquated. And with this system, it's perfect for conformity and complacency, and to make people feel kind of bad about themselves, to say, like, you're never enough, you're never good enough. And we kind of have this dogmatic approach with very little flexibility. And this is very conducive to the top-down approach. And so I think that the consequences of this are very tragic, to be quite honest with you. And as always, this, I might be kind of seemingly disconjointed. And students, those of you who know me, it's like I just kind of pull from all these areas, but if you just stick with me, they all come together because everything kind of fits together with education at the very center. And so that's kind of my fight. I'm here. There's the lesson for today. See you soon.